Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining us for our monthly Aventido special webinar. And this month's special webinar is all about languages. We thought just trying to link it to the World Cup somehow. So we thought, lots of our technology has different languages, whether it's user interface or it's got translation features. Or it helps you learn a language, or read in a different language, work in a different language. So there's lots of little tools in our technology, and we thought, what an ideal time to share that with you. So we usually focus on the disability side of things with our assistive technology, obviously, but this time it's a little bit different, looking at the languages. So me and Emily, we're going to be sharing, how many? Five, aren't there?
Yeah.
5 bits of tech. That's not all of the tech that we have that has a bit of language support. We thought there's only so much we can fit into one webinar. So we're focusing on those, that there are a few little features in the others, but if you want to know about those, we can share that information with you, but we're focusing on the 5 today, and we're gonna be passing the baton so that you don't get bored of one of our voices. So so I'm going to go first, and then I'll pass it on to Emily, and she'll pass back to me. So we'll change things up a bit, and then be following up with an email with some information, just to like recap of what we've talked about, and some a list of all the languages that are available for different aspects of each bit of tech to help you. So it's a good reference document for you for the future if you need to know, does the Scanmarker read Polish? Or if you've got a question like that, you can look on the document. So yeah, as always, any questions, we love questions. Please put them in the chat, and we'll try and keep an eye on that. So yeah, Emily is going to be doing Cantoo and Lightkey. I am doing
That's correct.
ReadSpeaker TextAid. The Scanmarker, I'm looking at the Macs, but there are various different Scanmarker reader pens, and the iView Learning. So yes, we won't delay any further because we've got a lot to fit in, haven't we? So I'm going to start off with TextAid, and so I need to share my screen to show you what's available there in TextAid to support other languages and translation and language learning. Lots in everything, really. Right, share the screen, and then Emily's much better than me at this. Emily, is it okay if at the end, Emily, you share our website and where people can find out about other events? I'm rubbish at remembering that, but I know you're expert at that bit. And there is also a survey at the end, and it is a specific survey to this webinar, all about sort of languages and like your views and access to stuff to do with the languages, to do with assistive text. So it'd be great if you could complete that too. Right, let's talking about not the technology, and let's get on. Need to share the sound. That's essential with TextAid. Right, that's not TextAid, that's iView, because we're looking at that in a few minutes' time. Right, so TextAid is a wonderful tool to support anyone who is working or learning in a second language or learning a language. It helps with both, or they are using it in another country, and so they need to have everything in a different language. You can do all of that in TextAid. So it's a web app, which makes it even more versatile because you can log in on any device. So you can use it on a computer, you can use it at a computer at home, at school, in the office, at university. It can be on an iPad, on your phone, Chromebook, MacBook. It doesn't make any difference to how you use it. It is used in a web browser. So that's the first thing, just to make you understand how you use this tool. You use it in the browser. I'm logged in already, and I've got my user interface in English. So we'll start off by just showing you the list of languages you can change it into all the buttons and everything into that language. So we have, I don't know how many there'd be there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's about 14, 15 probably, including, you know, like Welsh, got German, we've got French, we've got Dutch, of course, because ReadSpeaker, the head office is in the Netherlands, so we've got that. We've got Japanese as well. There is also a head office in Japan too. We've got lots of different languages, and if I want to, I can change it. So if I wanted to change it into German, for example, I click on Deutsch and it will change all the buttons and everything now into German. It doesn't change your documents into German. You, when you upload a document, you select what language that document is in. So my documents I have are still in the language that I uploaded it in. So, for example, this one's Welsh, but all the buttons are in the language you've selected on the top right. Right, let's just change it back to English for now. And I'll show you some other aspects. So that's the user interface that you can change. Another thing you can change is your writing. So you can write in your first language and then translate it into English, or the other way around, you can write in English and translate it into another language. So I've written just one simple sentence there in English, and I can click on the translate button on the left and choose which language I want to translate it into. Let's translate it to Arabic. Click, and it instantly, there's no waiting, it instantly changes the voice, changes the writing and the words into that language you've chosen. You can click listen and it will read in that language.
هناك رجل يعبر الطريق.
Okay, if I want to change it back, click revert translation. So that's nice and easy. You can do other various things in TextAid to support writing, and there are many languages that it is supported. So we've got a spell checker, we've got word prediction, and we've got dictation, which are all available in a variety of languages. So I will share the list of languages that they're available in the follow-up email. So I will just show you the dictation feature just while we're here. You need to change the language in that toolbar at the top because that's what it's using for the reading of the words, but also other tools. So if I change it to French, just because of all the languages in the world are probably better at French. Sadly, I'm not fluent, but I can say a few words. So I'm going to click on dictate, and if I wanted to, I could have done it in English, but I'm going to try French. So I click start and I speak French, and it will type for me. L'année dernière, je suis allée en France. It did it right. Look at that. I must have said it correctly. There we are. So I can then insert that text into my document. Because I've got French selected, if I select this, it's going to read it correctly, phonetically in French.
L'année dernière, je suis allée en France.
There we are. Lovely Elise saying that. But if I wanted that to be translated, I could always translate it, clicking on the translate tool to change it back into English. If you're wondering, forget your GCSE French. That means last year I went to France. Right, so that's a little bit of looking at the writing support in another language. So you can write in a language of your choice. Make sure that the language is selected correctly at the top, in the middle, and then you can translate that text, or you can paste a load of text into this box and translate it. So even if it's really, really long, you can translate it all into another language. We shall move on now because we've got loads of products to get through, and I've only shown you a little bit of TextAid. We'll move on to a worksheet here. Now, this worksheet is in Welsh. I've got Welsh Anwen selected as the voice, so he will read it to me in Welsh. The great thing about Welsh is really it's Winglish, really, as in if it comes across English words, it will read them in English, and if it comes across Welsh words, it will read them phonetically in Welsh. So let's have a little listen, shall we? So I select some. Box pop set up. I could translate that if I wanted to into something else, but I'm going to click listen. It's doing a lot of thinking.
Beth fasai ti'n wneud? What would you do? Beth fasai ti'n wneud tasai ti'n gweithio i'r Frenhines? Beth fasai ti'n wneud tasai ti'n byw drws nesaf I rywun swnllyd?
So there he is reading, and you heard him say, what would you do? And that was in English, so he pronounced it in English. If I just go further down this document, so we've got a mixture of Welsh and English on this sheet. So if I wanted to hear this word read,
Noisy.
he reads it in English. He wants to say it in Welsh.
Swnllyd.
And if I wasn't sure what that word meant, I wanted to hear the definition in Welsh because I've got it selected as a Welsh document. Click, not translate, click dictionary. It will come up with a oral dictionary so you can hear the definition in Welsh.
Source, Wiktionary. Swnllyd. Geurdarddiad. O'r geiriau swmplwsllyd.
And we've got that female Welsh voice reading to me that definition. And you can type onto the worksheets, and you could, if you were typing in English and you wanted to listen to it, you could just change that voice to English. It would read it with an English voice, but you wouldn't have to necessarily, because Anwen would read the English with like a Welsh accent, because like I say, it's like a Winglish voice. So that's a little bit of help with reading. This is a worksheet, but it could be a long document that's in another language, well, this has got a French. You could read that. This is the one I meant to click on here. So this is lots of French here. I could have that read to me, and this is really 18-page document, so I can have this all read, or I can translate it. Or if I came across one word that I didn't know what it meant, I could translate just that word, so I can listen to it in that language. So that is the basics of TextAid and supporting different languages and using it in different languages. There is also the ability to, if you're a school, college, university, and you have a site license for TextAid, you can also have a reading toolbar on your website that shows like a toolbar, and you can have the text translated into a different language in that way. So that's another way it can support. It also helps students who maybe they're studying and English isn't their first language. Just listening to the English text being read aloud is going to help with their fluency of English, as well as the ability to translate it if they don't know what that is in their first language. So yeah, so it's supporting learning of English, but also supporting their learning so that they can access a curriculum in their first language. So that is TextAid. Better move on to Emily, because we'll be running out of time otherwise. So I'm going to stop sharing and Emily's going to move on.
Okay, thank you, Mary. Right, I'm going to share my screen, and I'm going to just bring up Cantoo. So I'm hoping now that you can all see the Cantoo homepage.
Yes,
so Cantoo works really nicely for teachers, students. Teachers can add work onto the app, and students can complete that work. And they can set homework on here as well. So in terms of languages, Cantoo has 3 languages that the interface can change into. So English, French or Portuguese. And I'll show you how we do that. The languages that it has over 180 languages that it can can be oh, what's the word? Sorry, Mary. Transcribed.
Oh, yeah, right, yes.
Transcribed into, so yes, so from one language, from English, for example, to another language, it can be transcribed in over 180 languages.
That's a
So
lot, isn't it?
it is, yes, it is. I'll show you the list. Yes.
Brilliant.
So in terms of the user interface, if they're wanting, the language here, and they can change, you can change it into, for example, French, and then confirm. So then we have all of the user interface in French on here. Okay. To get that back, we go onto here, and again, we would just change that to what we would like it in. So I'm just going to change it back there. Okay.
They are a French company, aren't they, Cantoo?
Yes, they are. Yes. So the next thing, just to show you then, is in terms of the transcribing. So I'm just going to go to my documents. And so the teacher can, add, like I say, add work into Cantoo for the students. So the teacher can be, for example, they may write in English. So I'm just going to right here. I like football because the World Cup is on at the moment. Okay, so the teacher can be writing in here. Now, at any time, the teacher can also transcribe this. So let me just see. We're going to change. I'm going to have a look. So in accessibility, the translator, sorry, it's going to translate, not transcribe, translate. So I'm going to click on translate here, and we're starting in English. This is where the teacher, and I will show you the student as well, but this is where the student or the teacher can come and get the transcription. So all of the languages that are available within Cantoo are here. Okay, so right down to the bottom. So as you can see, there is a number of languages. I'm going to just go here. I'm going to go for French. Okay, so once the translator has been set, once the languages have been set, they would highlight the text, and we have the translate button come up on here. Okay, now what it's done is it has translated that, and then they have a couple of options. So they can download or they can transfer. So when they click transfer, that will come up next to. So again, if you're learning a new language, you've got the option to see, the two languages side by side or above and below each other on there as well. Okay, so in the accessibility section, that's where you can change the languages for your translation on there. And I'll just go back to, there is also the dictation. You can add audio notes into here as well. Now, in terms of the student, I'll just go to here. If I go on to the pupil, okay, and I'll go to here. So translation. So this is the work that the teacher's set for the student. So the student can come onto here, and again, they can also set their translation language as well. So again, they would highlight, they might want to highlight the word, and they would go to the translator. And they can change, as I say, they can change the language. Let's go for Greek on here. Okay, and we'll just highlight that. Oh, sorry. There we go. And again, we can have that on the page as well. Okay, so it just works really nicely for that translation aspect on there as well. Okay. Brilliant. Any questions on Cantoo at this time? Sorry, Mary, I can't see the questions, so just
No questions.
No. Okay, brilliant. You could also add documents into Cantoo as well to support that translation. Sorry. Okay, brilliant. Just see. Okay. So as I say, they can upload their documents as well. So upload and create chapters. But the languages, like I say, so French, English or Portuguese for the interface, and then for the translation of work, of documents, there is over 180 of languages to choose from. Okay. And that, Mary, is what I wanted to show in terms of Cantoo.
Brilliant.
Anything else?
I have disappeared, but I'm here because you can hear me. I've got to remove my background because I'm going to be using a visualizer now.
I wondered what that noise was. I could hear a noise, and I was thinking,
like, oh,
noise.
Right. But it doesn't. I've lost how to remove my background. I don't want one. None. There. You can see now, can't you? Yes, we're up and running.
See that?
Good. That was just a little delay, but we're on now. The baton's been passed back to me for another bit of tech. Now this is the this particular reader pen is called the Scanmarker Max. It's the newest of the. Oh, we're upside down, are we?
Oh, yes. There we go.
Is that right?
Right.
Is that text upside? No, is that still upside down? No. Sorry. I think that's right, is that?
Yes, that's right, lovely. Yeah.
Right. So this is the Scanmarker Max. It's the newest version. There is a Scanmarker Reader, Scanmarker Pro, and they all have slightly different features. This is the Max one, which has everything. It's your singing or dancing one. And in a way, I think this shouldn't be called like just a reader pen. This is a really powerful tool when it comes to languages and any barriers that people have with learning because of languages, or for learning languages as well. And the reason is, I don't know why it's taken ages to wake up. I only had it on about 10 minutes ago. Here we go. And the reason is because it's got a load of different things. It's not focusing very well, is it? There we are. It's very bright. I'm going to lower there we are. Maybe that would. Hopefully. I've got a video that you can see if you can't read the menu. I will explain what they are anyway. So basically, it is a reader pen, which it means it will read text, but it will also translate that text as you scan the text. It's also going to help students with reading if English isn't their first language, because it does the reading for them. You can also change the user interface, just like we have with Cantoo and with TextAid. You can go into settings. So it's a touch screen, a lovely soft feeling pen that's easy to hold. The screen's lovely and clear, nice colours, and the menu's very easy to navigate. So I'm in the settings now, and I'm just scrolling down to what says language. I know it's a bit blurry on your screen, I'm not sure why. So I'm in English at the moment, but there's loads of Spanish, Italian, French and Dutch, not Dutch, German, for the user interface. Now that is literally the buttons. That doesn't mean that, oh goodness, my student speaks Polish. Well, it's not a disaster, because it can still have Polish read to them. It's just the buttons are in English. But then if they're learning in an English school, then it's good for them to see everything in English, isn't it? So they're the user interface buttons, but there's loads of other things. So what we will start off with, you can read Like so, if I click read, there's a little button on the top right. That's the settings, and that shows the speed, the scan language. So this is where you can choose what language you are use, what text it is, and there are lots and lots, probably 30 different languages, including Vietnamese, which is the last one, Ukrainian, Turkish, Polish, Indonesian, loads of different languages you can scan in. And let's not leave it in Indonesian, because I don't think I've ever scanned in Indonesian, to be honest. You click on the tick to select. I've got UK English there. So that's the scan language that you can do. So that's the main thing. I can scan and it will read. I just did a very quick scan there. Maybe too quick. Oh no, here we go. And it will read to me.
Video recording on the student's own device.
Okay, so that's the basics. But that's not all. That's like when you're in a supermarket or a store where they've got those irritating videos, isn't it? That's not all. It can dice and chop and mash. And this pen is a bit like this. It does many different things. So we've also got translate. So if I click on translate, you've got, again, top right, the settings. So this is where you choose a scan language and the translating language. So the first thing we were looking at was just straightforward reading. Choose the language, scan, listen. This one, the translate button, is you scan, it will translate. So I've got it set as I'm scanning in English and it's going to translate to Welsh. So let's see what that does. So translate. Okay, I will just scan a little bit of this sheet and it should scan. It scans and shows the words in English. Hopefully you'll be able to... Oh. No, what? Could you hear that?
Yeah.
I don't think that was Welsh. It didn't... anybody who's Welsh on here, maybe you can tell me. It didn't. Maybe it was Welsh. It sounded a bit more Hebrew. Maybe, but maybe it's not. It's just because I don't speak Welsh. The actual text looks Welsh though, so that's reassuring. So that is the scan and translate feature. Really useful. Like. You've got a document at work, it's in another language, scan it and then listen to it in English, or a worksheet in a classroom, or you're studying at university and you need a bit of help with a physical page with translation. There we go, translate. And then we're moving on to another feature, which is speak. So if I click on speak, this is the voice translation feature. I think this would be particularly useful for schools where students just come from another country. They speak no English at all, and it's really important that they understand some basic information. Or you're communicating with the parents who don't speak English. And it's really important that they know some basic information. You don't have to be going into Google Translate it, and then, showing them or anything. You can speak in English, they can speak in their language, and you can have a full conversation using this pen. So, and because it's a pen, you can just have it in your pocket and just use it. End of the day, you need to speak to them, you can translate. Or in the classroom, you need to quickly tell Amir that, we're going to be going out to play soon, and he needs to know that in his other language, his first language. So I'll show you it. I'm gonna be brave. I have selected Hindi this time, not French. And I know very little Hindi, but I know how to count to 4. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm just gonna click on settings. Oh, well, yes. So I've got English on one, Hindi on the other. Click tick. I'm going to click on the right hand one, which is a Hindi. Ek du tin cha.
X234.
It's because I said 1, 2, 3, 4. It has shown. It didn't pick up the number 1. It thinks it was an X. Maybe that's similar in Hindi. But then it's picked up 2, 3, and 4. and it read that out in English. Or you can do it the other way around. So I could say something in English and it would translate it straight away into Hindi to listen to. So what are you doing today?
आज आप क्या कर रहे हैं?
And there we are. It's just said that in Hindi straight away. So, a really powerful, easy to use translation tool to support mainly like EAL students, but in all environments. In the workplace, if you work with someone who doesn't speak the same language as you, you can use it as well. So, really great for that side of things. And there is on the Macs, but only on the Macs, there's a transcribe button. That is, you talk, it puts on the screen the words you say, and it can be in different languages. So I'll click on transcribe. I've got what's on the screen right now. Oh, it's much clearer now. I don't know what's happened, but that's wonderful. These are files I've already saved. You can change the names. You don't have to have like many numbers as your file name. Just change it to something sensible, but I haven't. Click on settings, just like all the other bits, to choose. Maybe my hands are too warm to oh, there we are, got it then. Come on. There we are. So you choose the language that you want to talk into the pen. I'm going to choose Spanish this time. I'm really mixing things up with the languages today. So I'm going to click tick, and then I click on the add sign to record, and it will transcribe. Or what I know, that one of the very few phrases I know. ¿Dónde está la Correos? Oh, it didn't pick up Correos. It's still listening to me and trying to write that in Spanish. That's a challenge for it. But you click on the tick, and then it will, you save that. Obviously, if you knew Spanish, you'd be able to see whether that was right or wrong. Clearly, the Donde Esta bit was okay. I didn't say post office, Correos, correctly. But really powerful there. Then the student doesn't even have to write their thoughts in their first language. They can say them, and it can transcribe. And then it's saved onto the pen. The memory is really big on the pen, and the battery lasts ages as well. And then you can connect it. It's USB-C port. This is also used for the headphones that are included. It can be used in exams for that purpose, because it's not Bluetooth earphones. These are wired earphones, but you also use that for charging that port and also transferring your files, your recorded transcriptions or your audio files, because you can record just simple audio too. You could transfer it from the pen onto your computer. So that is the Scanmarker pen. Simple to use, really powerful tool to support lots of languages, translation as well, but also language learning. So you can say something in, maybe you're learning French, you say something in English, and then you can listen repeatedly to it in French and repeat it yourself to try and perfect it. And then you could do the, when I tried to speak Hindi, you could do that to see if you're pronouncing it correctly, because it will pick up and translate it accurately if you're accurate, if you know what I mean. So really, really useful in that way too. So that is a Scanmarker. And passing the baton back to you, Emily. I'm not sharing my screen, so that's simple for you, isn't it?
Brilliant.
And I will disconnect this this camera.
Brilliant. Okay, so next what we're going to have a look at is Lightkey. So I'm hoping, can you see my Word document?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, brilliant. That's great. Sorry, it just nothing came up on my screen. So that's brilliant. Thank you. So Lightkey, obviously, Lightkey is our predictive piece of software, predictive text software, and it's got some really nice language settings on here as well. So on your dashboard, when you go onto your dashboard, you've got the prediction profile. And this is where you can select the languages that you are going to be writing in. Okay, so you would come on here and just have a look through the different languages that it has. As you can see, there are a number of languages on here. And so I've selected French. So I've got French and English. So you can select and have active as many languages as you would like within the Lightkey prediction profile. What's really clever about Lightkey is that it will know which language you are writing in, and it will make predictions in that language. Okay, it works, so it predicts, it also does the grammar and spelling within that particular language that you're writing in as well. So I've just selected English and French. Now, when I wanted the French adding, I had to do something within my settings on my computer, but it does tell you what you need to do in order to get that onto the prediction languages. So on my whiteboard, on my Word document, I'm just going to start writing, and as you can see, it's predicting what I'm writing. And what Lightkey does is it's always sort of watching what you're writing, so it makes those predictions based on what you have written, previously. So I've written this already. Oh, it did come up with like. So as you can see from there, it was predicting as I was writing. Now, the more I write this, the more it is getting used to, like I say, what I'm writing. So it's therefore, adding more words into its prediction. Now, when I then want to write in French, for example, which I'm going to do now, it's already started to predict what I'm going to write in French. Okay. Okay. So it's picking those up. I've written this before, so it's remembered what I've been writing. And so the more I continue to write, it will then pick up more and get quicker with its predictions, but again, still within the language that I am writing in. Okay, so as I say, it is really useful. It will go between the languages. So if you're writing, a document, but you're using, 2 languages, 3 languages within that document, it will make predictions within those. It will know which language you're writing in, and it will make those predictions based on that language there. Okay, so again, just to clarify, so going on to the prediction profile on your dashboard and selecting, you can then select as many languages as you want to. If you want to deselect them, you would just click on it again, and it will take that language off. If you do that and you remove the language, once you start writing in that language, it won't make those predictions. So you do need to remember just to come back onto the prediction profile and make sure that the language you are going to be writing in is, has been selected. Okay. Brilliant. I think that's everything that I wanted to show with regards to the Lightkey languages, Mary.
Wonderful.
Okay.
And there's it's like there is American English as well as UK English, isn't there? So that it will predict with the spelling, like American spellings, if you've got it set as American rather than British, because of course there are various words to spell differently, aren't they? So and then all those languages. So clever how you can pick up always that's a German word, or that's Swedish, or that's Norwegian, or something.
It is. It's very, very clever. Yes.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? We've got to the final one. Yay! It's been a marathon of 80 today with all the languages. Right, time for me to share my screen for one final time. And I'll share my sound because you will need to hear. And we're moving now on to the final bit of tech, which is iView Learning. So iView Learning is a learning portal to help you get the most out of your assistive technology, whether it's technology that you've been given to support your studies or your work. It can be used in the workplace as well as for studying. And it's got hundreds, maybe even thousands of videos, but you select what software you've got, including built-in assistive technology, you know, in Google, Microsoft, iPads, things like that. And there's short videos, none of the videos are longer than 2 minutes, and it shows you how to do something. And you can use your the helper. There's an AI helper. Now, don't be scared by me saying AI. It's not going to do anything for you, as in like gather information from the internet to tell you things. It's just going to help you find what you need in a really clever way. So you can use it, ask assistants to say, I want some help with reading documents, and then it'll come up with some videos to show you what technology and which videos are going to show you how to do something, for example. Now, all of this, the whole of iView Learning, can be seen in different languages, where it says English, just like when we were looking at TextAid, it says English on the top right. Just the same, they put it in the same place with iView Learning. So click on English and choose your the language you want to be looking at the user interface in, including what Welsh is a newest addition there, as so everything could be in Welsh if you want, and we can choose it. So let's just choose Croatian for now. So now it's it's changed all the buttons. Obviously not the product names because they're product names, but it will change all the buttons and everything into Croatian now. I will change it back so that we all understand, not just the Croatians. And the other aspect of translation, languages and things in iView, is captions. So you can choose to have captions for the videos in a different language. So if I just go to this TextAid video as an example. Oh, it's locked me out. How about that? Let me in. Let me back in, please. Look at this. It's all going so well. And now it wants this silly security that I've added accidentally. So it will, just while we're waiting, it will read in put the captions in a different language. The videos aren't available in multiple languages. That's because that would take thousands of man hours to do that. It's not that it's impossible, it's just it would require a lot. And iView are already super busy with making sure they're up to date with all the technology. They're really great at, if there's a new feature, new version, they're on it and they make the videos really quickly. So yeah, that would be even more work for them if they had to make all the videos in another language, but maybe it's on their roadmap to start doing that. Right, I will click on it now. Now we're logged back in, and we can go, and it says CC. When you read doing it yet, so it's off. They're off at the moment, the captions. So I click on where it says CC off, and this is where it shows the all the language. There are loads of languages, so you can have the captions in so many different languages. So let's go Norwegian this time. Now, if you're thinking, it's a little bit, the color combination there, that pale purple, I find quite tricky to read. There are loads of accessibility tools in iView, so you can change the contrasting colors and things like that. There he is. He's going to tell us about highlighting.
In this tutorial, I'll show you how to highlight and collect text using TextAid. Click Highlighter.
Let's just close that. And so there he was. I've paused it without.
You can move the highlighter menu by clicking and dragging on the left-hand side.
But you hopefully saw the captions were showing in Norwegian there. So that's useful to access the captions in a different language. And that is the support in iView Learning, which concludes our webinar. We have been bang on 45 minutes, which is amazing that we kept on time when we had so much to share. Because Emily is amazing at sharing our website, I will stop sharing. Emily will quickly show you where you can find out about other events and webinars. Although, seeing that you've joined us now, you've probably got access to it either via our website or an email that we sent to you. I'm in at Oxford Brookes University next week for 80 Together, our first of the year. 80 Together in Oxford Brookes University. It's a free event all about assistive technology, and we're talking about AI at that day as well. It's free, including lunch. If you live near Oxford, you fancy joining us, happy. Wonderful. Love to see you there. So just if you happen to live near Oxford, wonderful. And then the week after that, I'm in Ireland. So I'm at Ulster University in Belfast, and then we're off to Maynooth University in near Dublin. Again, it's 80 Together, a free assistive technology day that you are welcome to join you there. You can register. There we are. Emily's showing it on the screen right now. That's on our website. So if you fancy joining us, you can do. But if you are nowhere near Ireland, Northern Ireland or Oxford, don't worry, we always do webinars online, so you can join live or watch it as a recording. We always record them, and we will share the recordings with you if you can't attend the live one. So that's that.
Brilliant. Yeah. So just on the website in the events section, there are our upcoming webinars where you can register your interest. And as Mary said, if you register and you can't attend, then there will be the recording that gets sent to you afterwards. So brilliant. Thank you.
Wonderful. I've enjoyed that session. It's been really lovely to focus on something a little bit different.
It has, yeah. It's been great to look at the different languages and how they across all of the technology. So it's been brilliant. Thank you.
Yes.
I don't think there's no questions that have come through. But if you do have any questions, we will be following up the webinar with